Hello, my name is Joe, and in this video I'm going to be sharing my daily routine of everything I eat and drink and do in the day to manage SIBO. I'm making daily progress finally, which I've been at a standstill for a long time up until 3 weeks ago when I got this device which I can measure the gas in my stomach related to the bacteria. So yeah, that's been a game changer. So there's quite a few things that I want to talk about as well in terms of like my diet, why I'm doing my diet. You know, I'm not attached to any moral, I don't have any moral attachments to what I eat. You know, I just want to eat the food that's the best for me, what's going to get me better, quicker. And I'm not bothered if that's vegan, if it's meat, if it's eating bricks. I'll do anything to get better. I'm not bothered what it is. So I'm just trying to follow the research and the testimonials. And, you know, I've done a lot of trial and error over the years. I've been aware that I have SIBO now for a couple of years. I've been aware of health issues in general for 10 years plus. So I've been on this for quite a long time. I've tried loads of diets and I feel like I'm getting very close to figuring this problem out. The thing is though, I've got progressively worse over the years, I think, with not treating it effectively. And my protocol now, what I'm doing each day, seems to be working great, and I'm really happy with my results. So I think it's worth sharing. And I also have the mental energy and physical energy to share what I want to share. Most of the time I feel like I've got severe brain fog and fatigue and just don't have no motivation to do things like this. I have the desire to, but I just don't have the means to do it in terms of my energy. So anyway, I try and be as concise as I can. Every day I start my day off with a pint of warm water with added sole. Sole is just pink salt dissolved in water, and then you'll get a teaspoon and have a teaspoon of that every day. Your first thing, so that's got electrolytes in it, it's got trace minerals, and the water I use is filtered and remineralized. So let's see if I can show you here. Spin this round. Sorry, there's the Berkey, and the glass one you can see is the water contraption. So the Berkey inside here is 2 carbon filters that take out a lot of the heavy metals, a lot of the crap that comes from the tap water, and also once that's filtered, I'll fill, you know, a separate bottle up and then fill this one up. And in here I've got mason stones and prill beads, which help to remineralize the water, remove any other impurities that might be in there, and also increase the alkalinity, which I think is really complementary when we're doing like a carnivore diet. I measured the pH of my tap water and it was like highly acidic, which is not good, and it's still acidic coming out of the Berkey. So I thought I needed to do something about it, and so far so good. It adds electrolytes to the water, the mason stones do, and the prill beads. You know, I think that's like magnesium oxide, which is also alkaline. And I've noticed, you know, as well as doing other things, I'm just noticing this time around on carnivore, I feel like a different animal, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm maximizing my electrolytes through the drinking water, but I'm also adding electrolytes to my water when I go to the gym. I just had a couple of scoops of this into my 2-litre water bottle, which you saw there. And I just feel like I've got good energy in the gym. I don't feel weak or fatigued like I have done in the past when I've been on carnivore. So that's, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. My warm water, first drink of the day, get hydrated. So when we're on carnivore or keto, we lose a lot of electrolytes through, you know, you go into the toilet constantly, at least in the first week or so, and you're just weeing out all the carbohydrates that are being released from your body and all the waters with that, and they're carrying electrolytes. So it's so important to put those back in if you want to be electrically charged, which is what the electrolytes are, right? And then, so after my warm water, I'll have some tea, which is just dried ginger and turmeric, dried nettle, which you get from the local shop, and some organic green tea. Green tea, antioxidants, caffeine, gets the cogs going. Always seems to help me go to the toilet. Turmeric and ginger, anti-inflammatory, help to relieve gas, and also add like a nice little kick to the tea as well. And then nettle, antihistamine, it's good for the kidneys, and you know, if you've got gut issues, you might also have high histamine or histamine intolerance, which can cause a whole range of other symptoms which you don't need when you've already got loads of symptoms. So that's what I have as my second drink. I'll add some extra virgin olive oil in there, unfiltered, a tablespoon to my green tea, and that adds just a bit of fuel for me to get through the morning while I'm doing an intermittent fast to stay in ketosis. It's got antioxidants, good monounsaturated fats, so really good fuel, really good energy. And that'll be my first two drinks. And then after that, when I'm ready for my next drink, I'll have a black coffee, which is done in a percolator. And I have that as like that's probably like one of two last treats I have at the minute. And I have it because my body can tolerate it. I don't have any adverse like side effects. I have in the past when I've had coffee and I've been dealing with gut issues, but at the minute I can tolerate it and I enjoy it. I enjoy the stimulation. I find it also helps to go to the toilet as well. And in my black coffee, I will add a tablespoon of coconut oil and a little bit of salt. So with both teas, the diuretics, so we don't really need to be drawing any more water out of the body with drinking diuretics. So adding some salt to it just helps the body to hold on to the water a little bit better, because it's, that's what sodium does. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so trying to, and the salt adds a bit of a taste to it, which is nice in the morning. I'm not hungry yet. I don't really have an appetite. But having the fat from the coconut oil and the olive oil, it just keeps me going, helps me to not go into fight or flight, into like a sympathetic state, because I'm running out of fuel. It keeps me balanced. And I've also got my breakfast brunch on the stove cooking. So cheers to the strong espresso. And then with breakfast, I have beef chuck. I buy it in a big slab from the butcher's, like 6-7 kilos. And I've got a big butcher's knife that I cut it into steaks with, freeze it, and it's way more economical. And cooking them on the stove for like an hour and 15 on a low heat in bone broth really helps them to come out like super tender, and it's delicious with some pink salt on it. I mean, that's pretty much my breakfast with some added organs. It's bland, I'm not gonna lie, but it's like rocket fuel. I eat it and I'll add a bit of olive oil on that as well, just to increase the fat, pink salt, and I have good energy from it. There's no denying it. But I think with that, it's important to have like the salt. I add potassium. I have 2 of these a day, 2 potassium tablets, and I have 2 to 3 magnesium tablets a day. And these are just the electrolytes. So we've got salt, calcium, potassium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. I drink kefir every day as well to get my calcium. And so maximising the electrolytes seems to be having a strong correlation with my energy. I feel way better than I have done it's been like a year and a half now. I've just felt like I'm trudging through shit every day, just miserable, no energy, fatigue, no appetite, no go, no motivation, no inspiration, no creativity. And now I feel like my energy is coming back, and this is what I'm doing, and it's working. I'm also taking antimicrobials to kill off the bacteria, but it's since I've become strict carnivore with a focus on electrolytes, having kefir, allowing myself the coffee, things are working. What else am I doing? Supplementing with cod liver oil, which is important for our omega-3 fatty acids. I'm trying to, really balance my lipid profile. I'm not concerned about cholesterol one bit. I don't have issues with my blood sugars, and I'm eating a lot of saturated fat. I'm eating a lot of monounsaturated fat, omega-3s. I just think it's not a problem so long as we haven't got blood sugar issues, and also the size of the cholesterol particles are also large, which you can have tested by the doctors. So I'm not concerned about eating loads of fat. I think it's really good. I feel good on it. And I think the myth that saturated fat is bad, and all this high cholesterol is causing heart disease. I think the real problem is sugar and refined carbohydrates and just shite that these supermarkets are selling, and all the seed oils and rancid oils that people are consuming daily with the sugar. That's the real cause of heart disease. Wake up, everyone. So maybe I'll just show you my beef that's cooking. So I'll just put I make bone broth in a big 13-litre pot, and then I freeze it, and then I cook my meat in it every day and just let it simmer for an hour and 15 minutes. And then here I've got some frozen heart in there, and frozen liver. Oh, that's frozen heart, and that one's frozen liver. There's my big butcher's knife, what I cut up the meat with. And then my eggs, I get big trays of eggs because I'll have eggs for dinner with bacon. So yeah, that's breakfast. Bone broth, which I'll drink 30 minutes before I eat my beef chuck, and then I'll have my beef chuck, ox heart, ox liver. The reason why I have the offal is because I'm sick. I've not been digesting food properly for years now. So God knows what I'm deficient in. So I think by maximising my, nutrients, by eating offal, because we know that offal contains more nutrients than just standard muscle meat. So just having a little bit, because you can overdo it with the liver, because it's got such high amounts of vitamin A. Just having a little bit every day, like you saw in the boxes, it's like having a multivitamin. And I think, I feel much better when I'm doing it. So that's for breakfast. I'll have salt, I'll have 1 potassium, 1 magnesium with that as well. And then, I'm good. I've got great energy from that. Then I'll go to the gym, maybe a couple of hours after. I'll bop 2 spoons of these in one of my big 2-litre containers of water. I'll drink my filtered water, and then I'll get back from the gym, and for dinner I will have like 5 or 6 scrambled eggs. It's better to poach them so you don't, alter the omega-3 fats in the egg yolks. Free-range egg yolks contain omega-3 fatty acids, which can be unstable to heat. So, be mindful when you're heating your scrambled eggs. I just do them so they're like quite runny as well. So I'm not really heating the fats too crazily. But poached eggs would be better. It's just convenient with scrambled eggs. And I'll have that with bacon, and like last night I had salmon. I'll have salmon or fish every other night because it's omega-3 content, wild caught salmon. And then I'll drink my kefir. I have homemade kefir from full fat cream milk. I actually add double cream to the kefir as well, so it's nice and thick and creamy, and that's brewing in here at the minute. So there's my kefir. It's going really well. I'll probably drink all that today as well. And the thing is with kefir is it's high histamine. But I'm feeling like I'm getting that many daily gains from this protocol at the minute that I'm following, that I can tolerate a lot of kefir, and that's good for me because I'm trying to gain weight. I don't want to be losing any weight, and I always feel like I lose when I go on carnivore or keto, and the kefir is helping me hold on to it. And so yeah, that's me in a day. There's a few other supplements that I haven't really gone into detail with, but in terms of fats and fuel. I might have a bit of olive oil on my eggs and bacon as well. But that's everything, and it's working great. I feel, like I said, electrically charged. I feel like I've got my energy back to do things, and yeah, for the first time in a long time, I just feel happy, you know, putting music on and dancing again. I've not had that for a long time. I've been really in the trenches with like symptoms, everyday symptoms, and I'm still bloated, like a tiny little bit, you know, a stranger wouldn't notice, but when I relax, my belly still puffs out. So, you know, I think I've got a few months left yet before I'm healed, but I feel determined. You know, it's not easy to do this, being restrictive, because everything about me wants to eat sugar and potatoes and fruit and, you know, raw honey and even the good stuff. And so it's hard to be disciplined and strict, but, you know, the alternative is much worse. You know, the alternative is me feeling depressed, no energy, no creativity, unsociable, isolated, withdrawn, brain fog, fatigue. The list is long, and it's real, and it's daily. So, you know, that's why I'm taking such extreme action. You know, you might call it extreme, but I think extreme cases, diseases, cause for extreme measures and strategy. So that's what I'm applying now, and it's working. And I look forward to continuing sharing. Hopefully that's useful. There's some useful things in there, and if anybody has any questions, you know, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to help. This is a very new thing for me to be sharing on YouTube, but I'm so passionate about health because it's all I've been doing for years now, and I've learned a lot. I've unlearned a lot, but I've learned a lot also, and I've got, you know, I'm coming towards the end of my studies in naturopathy nutrition as well, so I'm serious about this stuff. You know, I've been eating it, breathing it, sleeping it, drinking it daily for, you know, for years now, and yeah, I aim to inspire, to motivate other people to make some changes in their diet and the lifestyle, because, you know, the differences between day and night, if you're just eating like the standard Western diet, like, let's face it, we eat shit, and especially if it's part of your culture and your community. Where I grew up, everybody drinks every day, smoke every day, have a Mars bar, have a Snicker, packet of crisp, some white bread with some ham on it. That was life for me, day in, day out, for years as a kid. And there's no wonder there's so much ADHD, and, you know, kids are unbalanced hormonally, and we've got all these environmental toxins and pollutions and social media, but diet is a massive one. But we're against the grain because we're up against big corporations that market this stuff. They have scientists testing what tastes the best and the most addictive, so you keep on eating a full box of Pringles or a full packet of Maltesers. You know, we've got a fight in our hands, and it is about time people start waking up and looking after themselves, because, you know, it's tough. We've got everything against us trying to damage our microbiome and our happiness and our hormones, and man, it's tricky to try and figure this stuff out. So the sooner you start and the sooner you stop putting stuff in your body that's destroying it, you know, the sooner you get your life back and your happiness and your energy, which, you know, we're energetic beings, and if you're not waking up every day feeling happy and inspired and motivated, maybe look at, you know, what you're consuming physically, mentally, emotionally, and, you know, start making some changes. It's hard to change yourself, but it's the only way. The longer we distract ourselves, the longer these problems persist, and they don't tend to get any better on their own. They tend to get worse. That's for sure. That's what I've noticed anyway. And I've done some extreme things in the past trying to heal my body, and I've learned a lot. I wouldn't recommend some of the things that I've done. You know, I've done long fasts, I've done long juice fasts, dry fasts, water fast, and I believe that these things are good, but I think it's good to talk to an expert before you do them, because if you've got underlying symptoms, you might be going down an avenue that might not be relevant for, you know, another year's time or 6 months time, and there's an order to do things with healing the body. And it's a sweet science, and I'm beginning to understand it through the studies and through all the trial and error that I've done. I'm finally getting to some level of understanding. Anyway, it's a long video. I'm just waffling now. You can see I'm passionate, but thanks for watching. You know, subscribe if you feel the vibe, and hopefully I'll get some more content out to inspire and motivate. Cheers, bye.